Hey everybody, that was a little kooky. I was trying to do some multiple things on the cell phone. Cellular still isn't as snazzy as I'd like it to be. However, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get right back into it and continue without stopping because my internet's acting crazy. I just want to say thank you so much. Don't forget, if you're on Android, slide up. If you're on Apple, slide to the side. And share me on Twitter because I'm going for 100 follower run. I'm really close. I'm in my 80s or something like that. And I'd love to get up to 100 followers. And I just want to thank you so much. Share it with the people that you follow. That would be really super cool. So go ahead and get all that sharing in. Let me let you know what I'm doing here. I'm doing the Tao of Network Marketing. It's a continuation from a very popular blog series I have on my blog at www.coachtyrawoodruff.com. You can go ahead and take a look. Tons of interaction on it. A lot of people really love it. And I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit. Periscope came out first of all. Number two, the videos tend to be a little long. And even though people like long content on a blog, they don't necessarily like long video on a blog. So I thought this is the perfect place to kind of move it on over to, and I'm wicked excited about bringing it to you. Today I am going to do verse 37. What I'll do is I'll read the translation of the Tao Te Ching, which can be found in Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I read along with that, and I kind of apply it to our business and network marketing. It really could be anybody with a business mindset. This is a really good idea. The reason why I chose this book, besides something like The Art of War or something like that, is because this is considered like the handbook for leaders. And inside of our industry, inside of network marketing, whether you have one person in your team or 30,000 people in your team, or you don't have anyone on your team yet, you're still a very public figure. You know, your profiles are very public, and you're doing a lot of things in front of the public eye, and you just don't even realize who it is that's following you. So it's important that you take responsibility for your leadership role and deepen your spiritual aspects and your philosophical aspects of these things, because it's really going to pay off in the end anyway. Besides, making yourself a better person is always a good thing, right? Jim Rohn once said something. Everyone should try to become a millionaire, not for the money, but for the person that you become while you're doing it. So this is a really powerful series, and I'm so glad that you're here with us. I want you to go ahead and chime in and say hello if you're here. Let me see. I can't see if anyone's here, though. It's possible. I'm not sure what's going on. So I'm just here. I announced it on Facebook and kind of like Twitter too, so hopefully y'all are seeing me. Um, what else did I want to say here? Well, this is the Tao Te Ching was written. I think it's 2,500 years ago. It could be 1,500. I kind of forgot already. You know, I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter. It was written as a leadership handbook, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I find it really interesting that I kind of levitate towards this spiritual aspect of entrepreneurship, because for me, business is everything. For me, everything I do is connected to business. And I think that's how a lot of people are, especially, real entrepreneurs really look at it that way. They don't separate much. They don't separate like family time for business time. They integrate it, kind of thing. And that's kind of what I do. Everything is connected. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I just said I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this chapter, Dr. Wayne Dyer calls Living in Simplicity. And here's the verse. The Tao does nothing but leaves nothing undone. If powerful men could center themselves in it, the whole world would be transformed by itself and its natural rhythms. When life is simple, pretenses fall away. Our essential natures shine through. But by not wanting, there is calm, and the world will straighten itself. When there is silence, one finds the anchor of the universe within oneself. Well, that's pretty powerful. And for me, as I apply it to my business, what that says to me is that when you feel like you're kind of like in a center of a storm inside of your business, anything could be going on. You could be part of what happened to Vima. Maybe you were in Vima and that was your sole income source, or like me, about a year and a half ago, a company I was in kind of dissolved and it transformed into something but it was not within the time frame in which I could continue to work on it inside of my business. It could be all sorts of different things that are going on. Maybe you're struggling to get to the next level, or maybe, something's happening. Hi, I see someone joined. I don't know if I can. This scope is acting a little strange. There's 3 people here. Please say hello. Let's see if. No, I don't have the chat hidden, so hopefully you guys can say hi. I'm not seeing anything. And throw up some hearts for me. Okay, anyway. You may be in some sort of storm inside of your business, right? It could be anything. But when you find yourself in that place and you just get centered, maybe it's a good storm. Maybe it's like the perfect storm, you know what I mean? Maybe things are going really well and things are getting a little chaotic because so much is going on and things are just working out. And, that's a really delicate time in someone's home-based business or network marketing, because especially if it's the first time that you're feeling that way, because it literally could be a time where you have to be aware of who you are so you don't self-sabotage. And this verse really hits home with me with that, because if powerful men could center themselves in it, the whole world would be transformed by itself in its natural rhythms. It kind of touches on that we shouldn't force, we shouldn't feel like we're forcing. We should probably get really zen in moments of great turmoil in your business, whether it's good turmoil or bad turmoil. And that in doing so, we actually create a ripple effect, like a butterfly effect all around us. And being in internet marketing and network marketing, you're affecting a lot more people than you even know. Like today, for instance, I got a phone call. I got a message real quick from a girl on Facebook. I was in a company with her a few years ago. I've met her at events about 3 different times. Maybe I've had 3 in-person short conversations with her and 1 other longer conversation on the phone last year. Maybe even 2 years ago by now. And she had something really exciting to tell me, and she was like, so I was like, yeah, give me a call. And I shot her over my phone number. And she told me something very personal and something very exciting. And I was the first human being outside of her immediate, like her spouse, to hear this incredibly great news. So you don't know who you're connecting with. And if you could really tap into centering yourself within inside of the turmoil in your business, within the good turmoil and the bad turmoil and all the stuff in between, if you can get yourself really zen about that, you can present yourself to other people in such a beneficial way. And like a ripple on a lake, as you're standing there, even though it seems like not much is moving, as you get yourself centered and you stand there in the middle and you're standing on a platform in the middle of a lake, just your presence there is calming the waters and making things more soothing and better for the rest of the people that are being influenced by you. Because even if you don't realize it, you're influencing people every single day, every post you make. Whether you've got, 50 friends on Facebook or you've got 5,000 friends on Facebook. Whether you've got 1 person in your team or whether you've got 30,000 people in your team. Because you're a network marketer, hey Sarah, good to see you. Give me some love. Woo woo. Because you're a network marketer, you're living a very public lifestyle. You're really out there. It's almost like miniature celebrities we all are. Whether no matter where you are, you are. So you don't know who you're influencing. So one of the things that for you to vow this to yourself today is that you're going to be zen, even when things are really exciting, whether they're exciting the bad way or the good way, if there is a such thing as either or. Because I really believe that even the most craziest turmoil. Today, for instance, I went on a hangout to learn about some SEO techniques from one of my peeps inside of one of the projects that I work on. And the beginning was just absolutely, oh my gosh, the technical difficulties they were experiencing would have made most people just say, oh, we'll just come back tomorrow. And a lot of the viewers said, oh, I'll just come back next time. Catch you next time. Thanks for trying. And I said, what the heck? Even if nothing else was able to be done during that hangout, right? The technical difficulties he was persevering through and learning how to get past was a great lesson in and of itself, even if it wasn't about SEO, right? How do you move past technical difficulties when you're trying to teach people? So we ended up with one of the best, hangouts that I've been on all week. I go on them all the time. I'm constantly educating my mind. So, once you get past that turmoil and you just get centered in it, you can accomplish anything. You can get through those crazy technical hang-ups that happen in the world. Like right now, I think I'm experiencing one because I swore this. I shared this on Twitter. I know I shared it on Facebook, and it's just like, I don't know what's happening. I don't even know if you're hearing me. But I'm not going to stop because I know that I'm reaching people. Like I said, you'll get that phone call from that one person sharing something with you that you just know that you've just been separated. If somebody chooses you, there's something really special about that. To be people on this planet reaching out to each other in that kind of way, it's just very powerful. And in this business, it's very prevalent. There's people that, my mentor reaches that she'll never know about. She did not know how long I was watching her. She may have noticed that I was on her list, as far as emails are concerned, but she doesn't know to the depths in which I've studied her and the kind of influence that she has on me, so all she can do is continue to remain on her path and keep moving forward. And you know what? It works. It works. Not everybody's for everyone. And that's okay. You don't have to worry about being universally accepting. You don't have to worry about being popular, because that's a bunch of bullshit. That's high school, guys. We're not in high school no more. We're not even in grad school no more. We're out of there, and we're pros. So just make sure that what you're doing feels really good to your heart. And even when it's ups and downs and turmoil and storms and all sorts of crazy things happening in your world, when you remain one with who you really are, and you step into the Tao of yourself, because you are the Tao, you're going to have a massive success, and you're going to do it without forcing success. Because when you try to force success, you're showing lack of faith. If you were here yesterday, I have it on YouTube. I did save the replay on YouTube. If you were here yesterday, we talk a lot about forcing and releasing and letting go and just letting things grow on their own. Because forcing it will never work. It's kind of like shoveling snow in a snowstorm. It's useless. You're just trying to get a heart attack. You're not getting any further than you would if you just waited for it to stop and then got out there and did it all at once, right? So that's the key here, guys. So let's see what else Dr. Dyer has to say about it. He calls this "bite your tongue and zip your lips," a verse of the Tao Te Ching. The paradox inherent in the two opening lines intrigued me enormously. The Tao does nothing but leaves nothing undone. Just imagine what we're being told to consider in this verse. Do you and I have... Whoa, I just skipped a whole bunch of sentences. Do nothing and everything gets done. It obviously contradicts all that you and I have been taught. Doing nothing in our culture suggests laziness, unsuccessful, quite possibly worthless individual. So for a moment, let's modify the way we think about living simply and doing nothing. Because I believe that, I'm going to stop reading and look at you. I really believe that what Lao Tzu is trying to express to you is not about not being a doer. I think he's talking about being busy. There's a difference between being productive and busy. And a productive person may not look busy. They may look like nothing's really going on, but things are working and they're putting things to work. So I see what he's saying here, but I really believe that, if you're on this hangout or this scope, you probably get that part, Let's see what else he says here. I think a lot of the problems that happen with network marketing too, when people think that we're get rich quick, like somehow, some way, they all of a sudden thought that was the reality of it. Because let me turn on some more lights. I'm getting dark here. Because it's not. It's just as much hard work, if not more hard work, than a lot of things. So the thing is it appears to be less work because it happens more in a social setting. I guess. When I was a bartender, I loved my job, and it was a very social job. And, I got tipped and paid very well to be really good at being friendly with people and having fun. So, that's it didn't look like hard work, but let me tell you something. When it was time to pull a keg out from the back of the storage room, when at the end of the night when everyone was gone, it was closing time, and I had to bring in 15 cases of beer and bring them upstairs and bring them over this way and bring them over that way and count the money and get it. That shit, you didn't know what was going on. Here was the party girl all night. The next thing you know, she's the one making sure everything's good for the next day. So there's a lot more to this business than what a lot of people think. And what happens is a lot of people come in here seeing that it looks like it's super easy because they're just seeing people hanging out on Facebook or on Twitter or writing a blog here or there. They have no idea that, like today on that hangout, I learned that it takes Terrence more time to find out what he's going to use for a title than, to design his title more than it does for him to write the post. And to write a good blog post can sometimes take you a few hours. It depends on how skilled you are at it, how long the post is, how many references you're going to use. And then you've got a whole bunch of other things that are included, like syndication and all that fun stuff. People from the outside that are just getting started in this business, all they say and all they hear, it's just what they want to hear, right? All they hear is, if I join this, I can be rich and skinny and this or that or whatever, depends on, or beautiful, whatever it is that the company kind of sells, the lifestyle it sells. And, people will say to them, and in the videos it says things like, all you have to do is get started today. All you have to do is make a decision today. And though, making the decision and getting started is one of the biggest steps that you will make towards your success, but it's not the only one you're going to make. And that getting started and that making those moves happen every morning. They happen every day. You make another decision to move forward in your business. And people that come in, to this industry thinking that they're going to be able to just, hey Jay, people that come in, they only think they don't realize that there's work to do. There's videos to cut, Periscopes to get on, which is like really intimidating, especially for a newbie. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I make a mistake. I'm live, man. I screwed up in front of everybody. Just there's so much more to being a good marketer and being a good leader than just buying the kit or just getting that set up or just joining that company. It's not about writing a list of 50 to 250 people that you know, like, and trust. It's all about really becoming the person that you want to be so people are attracted to you. And then you got to know what you're doing in there, right, Jay? I mean, you got to kind of know what you're doing. It's your responsibility when you sponsor someone into your company that you tell them the truth, that you're going to work. How many hours a day do you got, No, it don't work like it used to. I remember the olden times where you could put ads on Google and, do these crazy advertising techniques and people would just buy stuff from you. But we ruined it. Marketers ruined it for ourselves sometimes. And Google took away your ability to advertise any kind of make money from home thing, They took it away. Some people, excuse me, some people that were making millions of dollars stopped making money. And you know what? Because they couldn't adjust to what really business is about. I need to sip my coffee. I hope I have some. I wonder if Sarah's watching, if she'll get me a cup of coffee. Some of those people that were doing really well in those days, the days of Google AdSense, they weren't able to adjust. They weren't able to understand that they've got to, build the funnels like this guy shows us and become real opportunities for people. You've got to know how to run a business. And one of the beauties of this business is that you can usually enter at a pretty low price point, but the work is the same. If you had your mortgage on the line to buy your home, for your house, to open a brick and mortar down the street or in your neighborhood, you would put your heart into making that thing work, wouldn't you? So when you spend, excuse me for coughing, I got an itch. When you spend, $500, which could cover maybe a car payment, or $1,000, to whatever it is, maybe that'd be your mortgage payment, and you really put it on the line that way. And you don't treat it like it's a brick and mortar, like you've got to know your stuff, or that, you're going to lose, and you're going to be gone within 90 days, and that's going to be it. And then you're going to run around telling people what a scam either that company is or that sponsor was or this business is. We've all been burned. We've all been taken advantage of. I know I have. I've been at this a long time. Long time. Full time for the past... My granddaughter's 3 now. Before she was born, so maybe 4 years. Yeah, it's about 4 years. It's been a long time. I just started to see success in the last 6 months. I had a little bit here and there, a little bit there and here, and learned an awful lot, but I never quit. I never stopped. And I just, look at that, see? It was February 11th, 2010 or 11 that I quit. That was the last day of my job. And I opened a brick and mortar landscaping business. I wanted to do plant gardens in people's yards so they could feed themselves. It's kind of on that, food security kick. And I was doing Talk Fusion at the time. Remember Talk Fusion? They're still around. They still do really great, but when you have platforms like this that are free, it doesn't make an awful lot of sense. But that was a great company. I loved it. And I was with them for a year before I ended up leaving them. But I've been at this for a long time, and it's a really exciting thing. It's a really beautiful thing. I see. Very cool. What business do you do now? Is that what you're doing right now? Accounting and tax business? We need to get your number. We need to know who you are and everything, because, I meet a lot of MLMers that don't understand their tax code, and people that they're hiring people that don't understand what they do, and they're not getting the right things written off and whatnot. Definitely, I'm going to make sure I follow you back if I don't already, and find you on Twitter as well, so that, yeah, very cool. Yeah, network marketing is fantastic, and cultivating your leadership is a big deal, because even if nothing's happening for your business yet, people are still watching you, and you're affecting people in a profound way, for sure. Let me see what Dr. Dyer, he says here. Cultivate your unique natural self. Practice allowing your essential nature to shine by not enforcing judgments on yourself that were imposed by others. Remind yourself that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to be better than anyone. You don't have to win. You don't have to be number 1 or number 27 or any other number. Give yourself permission to just be. Stop interfering with your own unique natural being. Lighten the burden you carry to be productive, wealthy, successful in the eyes of others, and replace it with an inner assertion that allows you to access the Tao. Affirm, I am centered in the Tao. I trust that I am able to straighten myself out. So is the world. I retreat into silence knowing that all is well. Expect to see essential nature of others by remaining silent. Isn't that the truth? In this business, you've got to be authentic. And, like right now I'm wearing a t-shirt. If you saw the back of it, it's like the comfy ex-boyfriend t-shirt that's all ripped up and stuff. And I'm here doing this. And then there's other days where I feel like being professional looking, and I'll get dressed up and have my hair done, and I'll get behind the laptop and I'll be like, and, but as long as it's you and it's what you feel like being. If you're dressing up in a costume every day, yeah, this is what this business is. It's about becoming a better person. If you're putting on a costume every day, then you might be stepping out of your authentic self. And when it comes down to it, in this industry, when you've got people you're working with closely and you're going on retreats with them, you're going on out to events with them and sharing hotel rooms with them and all this stuff, if they don't recognize you, then it's kind of like love, guys. If you're wearing so much makeup that your boyfriend doesn't recognize you the next morning after you've taken it off, you have too much on. And if you're fake, you won't last. Not a long time. Not a long time. There are too many sociopaths in the world. We don't need no more of them. So Dr. Dyer, he says for his do the Tao now, we'll see if it applies to us in our business. He says print or copy the first 2 lines of the 37th verse, and that is, the Tao does nothing but leaves nothing undone. Read the words repeatedly until you've committed them to memory, and then go for a 30-minute walk and take note of the truth. The air, sky, clouds, grass, wind, flowers, nothing natural that you see is undone, but nothing is taking place to work it all out. It's all accomplished by the truth of these words. Oh my God, gosh, it just hit me like a brick. That's about faith. The bird doesn't worry, about flying. It just does it. When you release the struggle and you just become, it's done. You don't even have to worry. It's about faith. Dr. Dyer says he's reminded of a 13th century poem by Rumi. Who doesn't love Rumi? Nibble at me, which applies perfectly to this section of the Tao Te Ching. Nibble at me, don't gulp me down. How often it is you have a guest in your house who can fix everything. Let all your knowing guests fix things while you live naturally. That's it. That's it. Because when you force it, you don't see success. I was on a hangout yesterday and I was talking about my first 2 years full-time, and the struggles that I went through were pretty intense. And what happened was I allowed myself to kind of be a victim of my circumstances, which were completely and totally created by me. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I would have rather what I went through than what the alternative was. Oh my gosh. I'm getting really low on the battery, so I'm going to have to go soon. Anyway, because I was trying to force my success, I was pushing it away from myself. So guys, I'm going to leave you with this. My battery's almost done. I need to plug this in. Be you, be calm, and know that every action you take is working towards your best self, and you're going to get there. And if you start feeling like you're there already, you're already halfway done with your journey. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much for enjoying this Periscope with me. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate you. And I'm pretty sure I follow you on Twitter, but I'll double check. And I'll see you all on the other side. Thank you. Let me see if I can do this now. Stop broadcast. This part always gets me going. Bye, hon.